Today I was listening to Ben Shapiro and Glenn Beck, a dynamic duo of bullshitters. They are truly not awake. They're not. They're just. There's a reason why they have a TV show, guys. There's a reason why the real people of truth have their videos shut down. That's who the real ones are, and they've targeted these people for death. Glenn Beck and Ben Shapiro is not within the spiritual truth movement. Because when I hear Glenn Beck and Ben Shapiro say something like, okay, we should limit the age of the guns. We should let a family member turn you in. Well, let me explain to you my situation. Okay. The age doesn't bear on me. I'm 53. Okay. But let me explain something to you. I have a sister that is hated me since I was a child. I don't know if it was just mind control, but I mean, a sister that has never, she was an oldest sister. She's never told me she's loved me, I think maybe once in her life, and that was because I think she watched one of my videos. That's why. And what she's doing is she's making a deal with the police. It's called racketeering. She has a son and a daughter that's always threatened by the law, a daughter that's on crack and a son that was on heroin and crack and all this shit, making heroin, and then a son that is a pedophile. I don't agree with how he was arrested. He was flirting with somebody on the internet that was underage. I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with a sister betraying you. So that means that just like Luke chapter 21 in the Bible, your family members will betray you. Okay, when you're awake, your family will betray you. So the police go to my sister and say, "Hey, I'll give you, I'll give you a few years. I'll get your son out of jail if you turn in your brother and say that he's crazy. Turn in a report, say that he's crazy." And of course, my sister will not give me my guns in the most desperate time where I have people dying around me. My tenant that was caught up into this program that was trying to decided to try to help me and testify for me. They, all of a sudden he's hung. He's, somebody hung him, right? Or he hung himself. That's what they supposedly say. I don't believe the official story. I believe that the whole situation stinks. I every time I would speak to his wife, I would record myself. I would record the conversation. So I know that the wife kicked him out of the house and they were arguing and all kind of stuff was going on. And then I know that there was a lot of electronic interference and don't tell me that electronic interference won't depress somebody. It will. A vibration of love, a vibration of hate, a vibration of fear, they have conquered electromagnetic torture. Believe you me. And then we are just people that refuse to be depressed or refuse to. We're being tortured ourselves, but we just refuse to bow down to it. When I first went through my divorce, when I know exactly what happened, they started hitting me with ultrasonic radiation, and yeah, I did. I had anger and revenge, and I had all these emotions. But I conquered them, guys. Once you conquer them, that's it. God gives you this specific shield. It's like an angel protecting you. Once you conquer that and you say, no, I'm not doing what that devil wants me to. Remember, the ancients used to believe in battling the planets. The planets have all the ego archetypes of the human consciousness. So you're battling the lords. They used to call them the lords. Matter of fact, they do cartoons about this stuff. Battle the lords. Saturn, which is Satan, right? Saturn, the Lord of the Rings. And so, this is where the number 9 comes through because there's 9 planets, 9/11. That's exactly what it means. 9 times any number is 9. It's the highest level of human consciousness. Just like the 9th degree black belt. So let's get back to the Ben Shapiro thing. So basically, your family member that can swindle you and, racketeer on you and say, okay, I'm turning him in. He shouldn't have a gun. Seriously. A sister that has stolen money from me several times, a sister that hates my guts, a sister that is disarming me when I need to be armed. Right now, Americans need to be armed. Teenagers need to be armed and taught what's going on in the world. We don't need a re-education program by the New World Order. We need a re-education program by us. Okay, we're the ones that should be teaching your kids, not these New World Order psychopaths. We are the ones that should be teaching the police, not these New World Order psychopaths. And it's the other way around, you know? So I don't care. You know, you got a staged school shooting. There's chemtrails being sprayed on you, poison being put in your food, poison in your water. Oh, no, but a school shooting, 17 kids dying. Now, it doesn't matter if the whole planet, they're trying to kill the whole world. It's total genocide, geoengineering, weather modification. But 17 school kids, that's more important because they get their gun laws passed. And it's just a slow conquering of the United States. That's all it is, you know? Let me tell you something. If you start a war, if a war begins and all of a sudden you've got a law in the books that says, and the Democrats rule, and the law says, only a 21-year-old can have a gun. So what about these kids from 15? Matter of fact, from 10 to 21. What do? Just sit there and just let them be shot? Because let me tell you, when I was 10 years old, I can shoot a damn fly off a bull's ass. I mean, so matter of fact, when I was about 8, I can shoot a gun probably better than most people. So look what they're doing to us. They're disarming a huge. This is how they think. Okay, let's disarm a percentage of the people. And Trump's going right along with this bullshit. You know, let's say that people are crazy and disarm them, which will be, listen to this, it'll be the entire geoengineering community, which will be millions of people, right? Everybody that is into the geoengineering, smart meters, against the cell towers, against fracking, anybody that's a conservative can't have a gun now. So it's fucking, so now we get killed. So Donald Trump is saying, okay, kill all the conservatives. If you say that crazy people can't have a gun, that is every conservative in the United States, which are not the crazy people. Those are the ones that are the most intelligent. We've learned from Tesla was considered crazy. Jesus was considered crazy. King David was crazy. Noah was definitely crazy. But they were geniuses. Now we know they were geniuses. No, this is the way the devil works. Why don't you see this shit? Noah was an insane asylum. People were laughing and mocking him. They would be 10,000 people file a report on Noah and say, yeah, he shouldn't have a gun. Matter of fact, he shouldn't even be able to build a boat. I mean, seriously, you're taking away the ability for people to defend themselves. It's insane. It's insane. Then you're going to take the people that are the wise men and cut their heads off. Seriously. They can't defend themselves. I've got the animal control trying to come take my dogs. Those dogs defend me. I mean, hell, they got my guns, now they want my dogs. Do you don't think these fuckers want me dead? Are you insane? This guy Marvin that was renting my property, for 2 weeks he was going, the cops are coming to get me. This is what I was told by his mother and his girlfriend. And all of a sudden he's dead. I've been telling you that the cops are coming to get me for 8 years. So, and I'm still alive. I've had about 13 times I've had death threats, attempted murders. Matter of fact, the movie sent him a thing the other day, about 14th time. Attempted murders, staged false flags. I've had many a stage incidents to where they wanted to throw me in jail. And one of them, they accomplished it. And I can't even believe it sticks. I mean, some kid comes on my property at 4 o'clock in the morning and, you know, I'm like, what the hell? He's harassing my dogs. He's abusing my dogs with electronic stuff. They admitted that he had a military-style, frequency-style weapon. But they say that I was a science experiment, which is admitting of covert harassment. They're admitting it. Okay, so the Democratic Party is doing a science experiment on Frederick Wuss. Why? Because he is conservative, like Jesus Christ was? Exactly. You figured that out yet? So why was he doing a science experiment? Oh, let's see if we can throw him in jail. Maybe he'll try to defend himself from electronic torture. Then we can throw him in jail. Maybe he'll defend himself from Star Wars technology that could kill him. Maybe, then we can throw him in jail because there's no laws on our technology, but there is a laws on a gun. You see what I'm saying, guys? My dogs keep these psyops off of my property. My guns keep the psyops off of my property, and they've already taken my guns out, and now they're after my dogs. Can you believe this shit? What's next? Me. That's what's next. That's exactly what's next. You people need to freaking wake up. My sister is a Judith Iscariot betrayer. And she is trying to have me to say that I'm crazy. I shouldn't have a gun. Seriously, when she goes to the most cultist church I've ever seen in my life, that if you pray to Mary, which is the female divine, then you are a Satanist. I mean, it's a cult. She goes to a cult church. And if anybody doesn't go to her church, she hates everybody that doesn't go to her church. And you telling me I'm crazy? I love people all over the world. I don't care what religion are. But, boy, if you don't go to her church, if you say anything bad about her church, then, and that's what God calls the bales of hay. Your groups, that is a secret society, secret oath, secret proceeding. The same thing as the medical field, hypocrites, Hippocratic oaths. This is exactly what Satan wants, for you to join a group and then hate everybody else. That's his goal, to divide the nation to where you have a civil war. And Satan sits on his yacht and just laughs his ass off. All I can tell you is when we're gone, the truthers, the next move will be weather warfare attacks, directed energy weapon, earthquake attacks, and then no food. That's what's next, because their agenda is to get rid of us. Okay? We have infiltrated the internet. We are literally angels of God facing the devil on the internet because that's his turf. And we're not really allowed anymore. They're dumping our sites. Satan says, well, get rid of these people. Let's erase them. Let's say that they violated a copyright or they whatever, inappropriate content, because it's the truth. Of course, to Satan, inappropriate is just truth. That's all it is. It's just inappropriate. And Satan now has control of our churches, our schools, our military industrial complex, corporations. Of course, government is nothing but a central banking system, posing as a government, governing the mental. So, once again, any regulation by this staged event in Florida is fraud, and you will regret it. You better join together and not allow people to be disarmed, no matter what their age are. Because I can imagine you have a 15-year-old son, and you've got 10 people coming to kill you for food, and you've got a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, and an 18-year-old, and none of them can shoot back. If they do, the Democrats, which will, after they take us out, will take over the Senate, Congress, the judges again, and wipe us out. And then once the Democrats have control, then they're going to arrest your kids because they used a gun. I'm telling you, to defend yourself from food. That's it. You were just defending yourself, but you have a gun because he was 15. How old was he? Boom, your kids are in jail. Now you're even less defensive. Now you just have, because the husband's in prison already, because the women have been putting husbands in prison and having them commit suicide. That's one of the agendas of the Democrats. So if a man commits suicide, you might want to look at the Democratic Party. I guarantee you the wife or the girlfriend had something to do with the Democrats and was getting paid for it. I'll guarantee you that. So you better look that up. I know my ex-wife did. I know my ex-girlfriend did. And then these morons, they actually vote Republican when they're getting paid by the Democrats. They're total morons. They're betrayers. Thanks for listening, guys. That's the truth.